Hey guys, it is me, Miss MatchaBlossom, and today we're going to go over some things just to kind of help people a little bit more than I usually do, just so it helps clear up things. Now, I did receive two different comments on one of my most recent videos on what is Hanfu, and I really wanted to go over it with you guys just so you have a better understanding of what is really accepted in Hanfu culture, if not the fashion community. Do not forget, it really does help me with YouTube if you leave a like and comment down below, as well as hitting the subscribe button with the bell notification. But let's get started on the target of today's topic. I was a little bit hesitant to bring it up because I wasn't sure the best way to bring it up, so I'm going to tread carefully with this one. With Hanfu, you really want to make sure that, because one of the comments I received, I'll put it here or here, was just saying, for instance, how do I wear it? I don't want to culture appropriate it. How do I wear it with, well, if I take it out of like the shirt or the pants and I wear it with other clothing, is that cultural appropriation? All right. So this video is just going to really go over the do's and don'ts of Hanfu, including cultural appropriation. One of the first things is you don't want to be super strict with the Hanfu, like to where you're gatekeeping. But you do have to remember that this is a traditional garment from a historical background of a ethnic group, so it has evolved from there. Just like how there's other different like cultural garments. If you take a piece of, let's say, the negi, like this little blouse part that I have for this top, and you wear it in regular clothing, you have to tread very carefully. That's a fine line of cultural appropriation and appreciation. And I say that in context because if you see my video, I'll just list it there. I won't explain too much about Simplified or Modern Hanfu. Simplified or Modern Hanfu, they have it to where it is easier to wear in the modern day age for the 21st or whatever century you're watching this in. Convenient and simplified, but it doesn't take away from the culture. So let's say if you were to wear tennis shoes with it, or like, it just has to be depending on where you're going with the garment or what you're wearing it with. That makes it cultural appropriation as well, because you don't want to be like in those movies or TV shows that kind of are appropriating Asian culture and taking it out of context just because it's a trend or it looks cool or it's something sexy or just something that's out of turn that's not related to Hanfu culture in general. To better answer her question, I told her to be on the safer side. Please don't take it out of context with something that's completely unrelative for Hanfu. It's better to go off with the casual side of Hanfu, which is the simplified or modern Hanfu, so that you're better safe than sorry. That way, at least you could still wear it as everyday wear, either for beginners or for people who don't want to like invest too much time or money. Now, the second thing I will say just off the bat before we dive too much in there was a comment that I didn't read it thoroughly through, but someone did comment on this, and I really do thank them both. They're both really amazing people, so thank you guys so much for commenting. So the question that was being asked here was actually a lot different than the one that I had recorded, because I was thinking of another question that I couldn't find right away about prom dresses for Hanfu, but this one actually made me think and made me want to bring a little PSA about this. So it was talking about how there are people in the world who either agree with Hanfu and are okay with it, but with this day and age with the panorama or the pandemic, there's a lot of people who go against Asian culture, or some Asians that are not okay with it. But here's my 2 cents on this. It doesn't matter whether you're living or dead. People are always going to make fun of you and have opinions about you. If you're respecting the culture in the right way that it needs to be respected and be worn, you can't control the race that you've been born with, but you can control the actions and the garments that you wear and how you go about that. So I thought this was a very intelligent question to ask, and I'm glad someone else also answered. So thank you for doing that, guys. You guys are amazing. Let's keep going with more stuff you should know. And I know I've answered another question similar to this, but this question was a little bit different because she did explain in more detail. And someone did comment saying, hey, you know, as I can't speak for everyone in Asia, but I can say for the majority of us, we do appreciate you wearing it. We will not take offense, which I am very glad, because just like I mentioned in the other video, if you watch, please watch my what is Hanfu, and it doesn't matter what kind of background that you're in. So even if you're a male, female, non-binary, and I've had someone comment and ask me that question too. Hopefully I'll put her comment in here saying like, hey, can I wear it male's Hanfu even though I'm a female? And I told her, yeah, so definitely. There's no problem with that. You just have to make sure that you are wearing it respectfully. The next thing I do want to just say is that it doesn't matter if you're non-binary or, you know, LGBTQ, as long as you're wearing the garment in its correct traditional form for its traditional style, or just the simplified modern Hanfu style, like just make sure you're going with the style that goes with it and you're fine. There's no problem with it. No one's gonna have a problem unless you take it out of context or wearing it to a photo shoot that's totally unrelated or over sexualizing the garment itself, or you're just wearing it with normal clothing and calling it, oh, this is Hanfu. It's technically not. It's not only not in the right category, but it's actually ethnically wrong if you really want to be honest. Just some things I just do want to say about what not to do with Hanfu. Number one, not gatekeep or be too strict with it. There is a certain point where you have to be strict on the rules, like by dynasty, if you're wearing a certain outfit by a certain dynasty. That to a certain extent you can be like constructive criticism, but do not be gatekeeping and I guess like the opposite of like construction criticism. Like that's just something I've noticed with a lot of different alternative fashion styles, or they'll just like kind of like push people away who they think is not eligible enough to be the next one. Like I mentioned before, do not change things too much to a modern twist, because you have to be careful with this, because it could be cultural appropriation. It's not something that you can easily do unless you're doing simplified or modern Hanfu. You have to tread very carefully. And then there's one that are more styled Hanfu that's just more of like a fashion designer's outlook of it, but that's not the truest Hanfu by historical standard. Now the last thing is just, once again, do not cultural appropriate any of the clothing by taking it out of context and wearing it completely as something else. Not only does it take it out of context where it's not something that it is, it actually just takes it to where you're using someone's like lifestyle and their history as a trend. And I'm pretty sure we've had that from all different races besides Hanfu with the Chinese Han descent. The list just goes on. Like French, every other descent has been a culture appropriated to a certain extent. Sorry, I'm doing this. It is sweating. It is July 13th. I need a real fan. I have two going on. I need a fan. Oof. Just remember with those things, that's something to take in consideration when you're looking into Hanfu. So please just remember those things. Do not feel scared to try it. Just like it, so please leave a comment down below, hit a like button, and do not forget to follow me on Instagram and on here on YouTube, as well as I do post a lot of Twitch streams about different C-dramas or just about information like me playing video games. I do want to thank you guys so much for your time and just being there for me and being there with me. But I thank you guys so much, and I hope to see y'all ladies and gents later. I am blossoming out. Woo! Alright, we are doing this. Oh wait, I forgot to turn on one of these lights. My bad. Now it's... Hello. There we go. Hi guys, it is me. Wait, can you guys hear my friends on Discord? Hold on, let me...